Welcome back, guys, to Warhammer Weekend Times. I'm your host, Stan, and today I've got a 4-player free-for-all for you guys. I am going to be playing as Chaos Undivided. Over here we have Tom Doof playing as the Lizardmen. Way over here we have Console of Micronesia from Console Gaming playing as the Warriors of Khorne. He actually has a YouTube channel, guys. Go check him out in the description below. And then over here we have Gaius Germanicus playing as the Chaos Dwarves. Let's go ahead and go over the army comps, guys, and then we will go full speed. Gaius Germanicus has a couple units of Orc Arrow Boys on each flank. In the center, he has some Infernal Guard Bodyguard, a unit of Earthshaker Cannon, a Hell Cannon of Chaos, and some Death Rockets. He's also got some Chaos Dwarf Demon Smiths. Now, he's investing extremely heavily in these 4 units right here. He's also got some Black Orcs. He's got some Orc Spear Boys in front, and then some Hobgoblins. So he's really not bringing a lot of infantry at all. He's got a unit of Oglakan Wolf Boys, and then a unit of Hobgoblin Wolf Riders, and I think that's going to... Oh, he's also got some Bull Centaurs. How I could forget about the beautiful Bull Centaurs. But yeah, he's bringing a very small amount of infantry, maybe too little amount of infantry. Over here for Console Micronesia's army, he's got 2 units of Chaos Knights. He's also got 2 units of Chosen Knights of Khorne. He's got some Skull Crushers of Khorne Bodyguard, some Blood Crushers of Khorne. Over here, he's got some Champion Knights of Khorne Bodyguard, which also kind of boosts morale. Any kind of bodyguard typically boosts the morale of any nearby units. Over on this flank, he's got some Senegors and a unit of Marauder Horsemen. And then way in the back, he's got some Chaos Hounds and some Fleshhounds of Khorne. So Console is going in all-infantry army against the Chaos Dwarves. I'm sorry, an all-cav army against the Chaos Dwarves, although it shouldn't be terribly hard because of the lack of infantry. Over here, Tom has a unit of Stegodons. He's also got 4 units of Sauruses in his back line. He's also got some Temple Guard Bodyguard, or some just regular Temple Bodyguard is the unit name. He's also got a Salon Mage Priest, which is getting ready to fire into my line. And then in front, he has a ton of Skinks. I think in total he has 4 or 5 units of Skink Cohort and about 3 units of Skink Archers. Over here for my army, in front I have, excuse me guys, it's very late, so if I kind of mess up on my words, I apologize in advance. But in my front line, I have 6 units of Marauders, each one with a Chevron and an armor upgrade to make them last a little bit longer in melee and be a little bit tankier. I've also got a unit of Chaos Warriors with Halberds, some Chaos Warrior Bodyguard. I've also got some regular Chaos Warriors. In the back, I've got about 3 units of Ungor Raiders, and over here is going to be my Cow Force, 2 units of Senegors, a unit of Champion Knight Bodyguard. Over here, I've got a unit of Dragon Ogres, going to be easily my best unit that I have invested in my army. Some Chaos Chariots, a unit of Hidden Ungor Herd, and then I believe that's going to be it, actually. I've just got a little bit of cavalry over here, not a whole bunch. Most of my army is invested into my infantry. But anyway, guys, those are going to be the army compositions. Let's go ahead and go full speed now. I am going to be marching my Marauders straight up to Tom Doof, his Skink Cohort. As soon as they get into range, they should start firing. Let's see, over here, the Salon Mage Priest is going to miss, and my Marauders are going to move up, and here we go. We got lots of arrows coming in. Any second now, we're going to start seeing those Javs fly in, and here they go, guys. Lots and lots of Javelins are going to come in and do a lot of damage to these Marauders. Currently, in the current patch and iteration of the game, Javelins do an incredible amount of damage to any kind of Elephantine unit, so they're very good against that, but I believe that may possibly change in future patches. Now, my Chaos Warriors with Halberds and these Sauruses are just going to clash in this big melee. A lot of my Marauders over here are going to be kind of bunched up on this line. I'm going to get kind of a nice charge over here with my Senegors into these Skink Cohorts, but I need to be moving out pretty fast because the Stegodons are moving in. I'm going to be moving my Chaos Chariots in as well behind my Senegors, and that's going to go pretty okay, except my Senegors are going to rout, as well as some of my Marauders in my center line. This is no doubt due to the Temple Guard, which cause morale, or they cause fear among other infantry units. In response, I'm going to be moving up my Chaos Warrior Bodyguard, which helps bolster the morale of my units. Losing these 2 units of Senegors is actually pretty big. That's a lot of my cavalry that I'm going to lose, especially when a lot of Tom's units are lightly armored. He has a lot of investiture in Skinks. Over here you see the skink... Excuse me, guys. You see the skink cohort firing into my dragon ogres. That is no bueno. They can do a lot of damage to my ogres pretty fast, so I don't want to let them sit there and do it. I'm going to charge through, actually, and hit this other unit skink cohort, tie them up in melee, and prevent them from doing too much damage to my very valuable dragon ogres. If I lose my dragon ogres, that's going to be pretty much it. I've got a lot of investiture into them. Although Tom has a lot of investiture in kind of single units as well. A lot of money went into the Slawn Mage Priest. He's seems to be trying to keep these guys out of the way. Oh my god, here we go. We see one of the dragon ogres actually lose his torso. You can see here, it's actually like split off. It looks like the butt of the Lizardmen's here. You can see this guy is actually disembodied. Over here, it looks like things are working a little bit better in my favor. My Marauders are kind of shaken, going from eager to shaken. The Sauruses are shaken, so if I can get some good hits in there, I should be okay. My Dragon Ogres are going to continue to cycle charge. Let's just slow it down just a little bit, fellas. Over here, you can see the Chaos Warriors Halberds and the Chaos Warrior Bodyguards against Tom's center line. These guys, or his sources, are actually holding really well. I believe the Slawn Mage Priest gives a morale boost, so he's probably getting a lot of bonuses from that right now. My Champion Knight Bodyguard is going to slam into the flanks of these skink archers and do a good amount of damage. Now the Chaos, I'm pretty sure the Chaos Champion Bodyguards, or the Champion Knight Bodyguard, excuse me guys, woof. But the Champion Knight Bodyguard, I'm pretty sure, does have armor piercing when they use their lances. The Stegodons are going to get a nice rear charge into here. They're going to kind of push through my line and my Chaos Warriors. If I had gotten a little bit more sustained attacks with my halberds, or was able to reposition my halberds, I might have been able to do pretty well. I am going to lose what Marauders I had left over on this flank. That's going to be kind of rough. Looks like some more of the Stegodons are going to be moving in. And they are going to be moving right into my center line. I'm going to move my Marauders up, hopefully mitigate a little bit of the damage that was done over here. A lot of the left flank has kind of melted away. Here come my Chaos Chariots. They're going to get kind of a nice charge through here, kind of graze through the back lines of the Skinks, and then my Dragon Ogres are going to move through. They're going to narrowly push past the Stegodons. You can definitely tell Tom is going after my Dragon Ogres with those Stegodons, and I do not want to let my Dragon Ogres get torn apart by Stegodons, because they will. Even if I do manage to really do a lot of damage to the Stegodons, a lot of the time these free-for-all fights are attrition fights. You don't want to be losing a lot of your army early on. You want to keep as much as you can preserved, because you have another person to fight after this. My Dragon Ogres are going to be moving around to the back lines. I'm getting lots of charges on his Skinks. He had a lot of investiture in his Skinks. I think in total he had about 10 units of Skinks. So half of his army, or at least half of the slots that he could potentially bring for his army, were Skinks. The Stegodons are going to get some really nice charges in here onto my Ungor Raiders. My Ungor Raiders do not like this at all. They're beginning to become shaken. They could potentially rout if these Stegodons pursue them long enough. And these are lots and lots of Ungor Raiders, which will actually be pretty effective at taking out these Stegodons, because they're archer units and they can focus them down. You can have all your archers firing at the Stegodons at once, so you're having a lot of people getting hits off on these big elephant units that otherwise would have to run up to them in melee, and that's just a bad idea. Because if you're a low HP unit, you will get torn apart, and if you're a high HP unit, they'll do a lot of damage to you, and it just isn't always worth it. So things are starting to look pretty good over on my side. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what Consul's doing over on his side. Okay, it looks like he's taking a lot of damage over here. Here comes the Hell Cannon firing into one of his Chaos Knights. He's going to lose some Knights over here. I think he lost some more of these Knights over here to the Earthshaker Cannon. He's really seeming to kind of circle around these flanks. He doesn't have a lot of infantry that he's got to contend with against, though. These Black Orcs and the Orc Spear Boys are really all he's got. It looks like some of these Demon Smiths are going to get some nice shots into these chosen Knights of Khorne. He's going to take out a few there. The Marauder Horsemen are going to charge up. These Bull Centaurs are going to be pretty nasty and sustained melee. They can definitely chew through these Marauder Horsemen. The chosen Knights of Khorne might be a little bit more of a challenge for them because they get outnumbered, but they do. The Bull Centaurs do have multiple HP, so they might be able to out-tank them. That's going to be an interesting, actually, an interesting test to see which would win in a fight. Heavy Knights of Chaos or some Bull Centaurs. Well, the Bull Centaurs are actually going to be moving in against these Marauder Horsemen. They're going to get some nice flanking attacks off on them. The Horsemen are going to go from shaken to steady, however, and then back to shaken as they lose some guys. Now look at these Hounds of Khorne move in. They're going to move right in on these Chaos Dwarf Demon Smiths. This is a big unit that Gaius Germanicus needs to get out of here. He does not want that unit to be torn apart like that. Consul's going to get a really nice charge with his Blood Crushers of Khorne into the Black Orcs. He's going to do some damage there. Going to have to pull out, though. Looks like he did a little bit of damage there. I don't know if that's from the spikes or not. It looks like it potentially could be. The one that died over here probably didn't die from spikes, unless there are some spikes in there that I just really can't see. But it's probably not likely, because I think he would have taken a whole bunch more of these Blood Crushers down. Looks like the Chaos Dwarf Demon Smiths are going to get a couple more shots in. Going to take out a lot more Knights. Gaius Germanicus is actually getting some really good shots with those Demon Smiths. I think if he just brought some more infantry and maybe not quite so many Orcish units, maybe less artillery, maybe not the Hell Cannon or the Earthshaker Cannon. Actually, I take that back. He'd probably get rid of the Death Rockets. They're actually not that amazing in a field battle. The Earthshaker Cannon definitely can be, especially against a high Unicav army, but I think that 3,000 gold would have also gone really far in buying some kind of, maybe some more cheaper infantry to stop up Consul from getting into him, but Consul just had no problem getting past his flanks, getting into his defenses, and getting at his nice core units, which Gaius Germanicus kind of really built his army around, and just really tore him apart. Another shot coming in from those Demon Smiths. They're not done yet. They said, "We're not done with you, Cornish Cav." So yeah, they're going to get a few hits in. I actually don't see them right now. I have no idea where they are. The Blood Crushers of Khorne are going to be moving in. It looks like some of them are going to get kind of a halfway charge. Here's one of those Chaos Dwarf Demon Smiths. I think it was this guy, because I think there's only one. There was only one left, I think. No, it looks like there's another guy over here. But if this guy is the, if he's the captain, I don't think he actually can fire. But he might not be. But Gaius Germanicus is going to throw in the towel at that point. He really didn't have much left. Let's go take a look at my engagement. Things should be finishing up over here. I am narrowly going to finish off Tom. He did still have some of his Stegodons, but after just constant pressure of me hitting him with my Dragon Ogres, I'm almost sure a lot of my Dragon Ogres took some wounds and some HP damage. But they do have armor piercing, and they were able to take out those Stegodons in prolonged combat. The Stegodons were seriously problematic for me. As you can see, I lost a lot of my army. It was actually funny right here. I didn't see this, but Tom still has a skink right here, and he actually didn't see it either until after the game. But excuse me, guys. But it's kind of interesting to see, see that later, because usually when you're playing, you're not focused on little tiny details like that. You're trying to move your units, see what the other person has. So let's kind of take a head count here. I've got my Dragon Ogres. They're still a full unit of 11. I've got a single Chaos Chariot, just a handful of Marauders, not many at all. I think it looks like I might have a couple of Chaos Warriors and Chaos Warriors with halberds still left in the mix. Got a respectable number of Champion Knights Bodyguard, but they're really this is gonna be problematic because Consul has all cav. I've got some really squishy infantry units that he can just sweep away. These Ungor Raiders otherwise would actually probably be pretty good in sustained fire. I don't think a lot of those Khorne units actually have some. Excuse me, guys. I just got totally tripped up on my own words. I don't think a lot of these Khorne units have shields. So typically, usually you have a unit that doesn't have shields, they just are a great candidate to focus down with any kind of range unit. But you can see Consul is moving in here. He has a substantial amount of troops, and they are all elite troops. That's the thing, is I think overall, the balance of power is actually a little bit in my favor, and I think that's just because of the Dragon Ogres. But he's got Chosen Knights of Khorne. He's got Chaos Hounds, which are really good at taking out my cav. I've got, he's got Senegors. He's just got a lot of good stuff. The Senegors are good just to throw in there. Kind of a cheap unit he can kind of sacrifice while his Blood Crushers and his Chaos Knights move in and do damage to my Dragon Ogres. Biggest issue with my Dragon Ogres right here is charges against cav just aren't the same as if they were against against just any infantry, especially if the cav is moving. It's really hard to get a nice charge, because typically there's like this little point just right on the butt of the horse. If you get a good charge there, that typically seems to do a lot of damage. I guess that's just like a good location to hit them where they don't get a lot of bonuses from their defense bonus or their armor bonus. I'm pretty sure no matter where you get hit, you always get your armor bonus. But it just seems to be an effective place where the hitbox takes a lot of damage when you charge into cav, or if you get a rear charge with your cav into stationary cav. You usually will do a lot more damage than if you just charge into cav that's also moving around and trying to charge. The hitboxes are a little bit wonkier than if they're stationary. But my Dragon Ogres are doing an okay job. I've already lost 3 of them during this engagement, but look at all this that I've got to fight. I've got to fight these Blood Crushers. I've got to fight these Chosen Knights. I don't know if he's got any regular Knights left. I think he probably does. Yeah, he's got some Champion Knights over here. A lot of my guys over here are just going to get mollywopped, though. I sent my cav in probably a little bit too early. My Ungor Raiders are going to be back here. I just pray they get a couple volleys off. Maybe take down some of these Khorne units. My Dragon Ogres are really feeling it. There's only 4 left in them. As you guys can see, this battle is really not going my way at this point. Now, you see, hitting all these guys with these arrows feels really nice. You feel like you're doing a little bit of something. You know what I'm saying? But usually Chaos doesn't field many range units anyway, so these are just kind of nice light fluff. These Ungor Raiders are actually very low damage, but they're really not bad. To be terribly honest, the fact that you actually have just a little bit of a bow unit, as some of the Chaos factions, helps you fill that niche of having some range capability, especially now that Chaos does not have Marauder Axemen anymore, or Marauder Axe Throwers. May they rest in peace. But yeah, so that's going to be the game, guys. Consul is going to beat me pretty effectively. He had a lot of cav left. He brought a very small army to begin with and was able to sweep away Chaos Dwarves and what was left of my Chaos Undivided army. Now, what's funny is usually all cav armies like this, usually people get upset about them in vanilla Medieval 2 because cav is just so much more superior than anything you can really field. But typically in Botet, it's not that. It's not always that overpowered. You can sometimes have situations where the enemy team, like chariots fielding chariots or fielding kind of Chaos Hounds or Elephant units, really gives you an edge to cav. So bringing an all-cav army is by no means a guaranteed win in Botet. But in this case, it did work very well for Consul. Take a look at the kills here. I fielded the largest army, but also got the largest amount of kills. Gaius Germanicus and Consul Micronesia both had relatively small armies, and Tom had pretty much basically the same army size as I did, give or take 30 units. Take a look at the kill count here. 539 kills with my Dragon Ogres. Now, a large percent of those were skinks and kind of lower tier units. Some of them were sources as well, but it's still, that's 500 kills. That's nearly a third of my team's kills, but at 7,500 gold, when you're playing with 25,000 gold, you want to get a return like that. If you don't, you just might not be getting your money's worth. The rest of my units actually did pretty good. My Chaos Warriors and most of my elite units did very well. My Chaos Champion, or my Chaos Chariots, did pretty decent with 57 as well. And everything else did kind of, lackluster. My Ungors and Senegors did all right. So, but yeah, guys, that is going to be the replay. Excuse me, guys. Again, it's late and I'm tongue-tied. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you guys want to play some of these games with us, please consider joining the Warhammer Week Discord. We play games in there every single day, and we are always looking for new people to play with. Anyway, guys, that's going to be all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see y'all next time.